All right, good people. We got a special edition of the Counselor's Corner tonight, and I got a special guest, a world famous interview hosted by, you know, me, the award winning author, David Lorenzo Glover. So let me tell you a little something about my guest. Chris Hines, better known by his stage name World Famous, is an American record producer and composer. He's is starting to be recognized as one of the great hip hop producers in upstate New York and several other places. He is also the co-founder of the legendary group Upstate from Buffalo, New York, a group of rappers and producers that changed the landscape of hip hop in the 90s golden era. The group Upstate also has been recognized by Westside Gunn, CEO of Griselda Records, with tribute clothing apparel. World Famous has currently released three studio beat instrumental albums: The Throne 2, Son of Rick James, and Beats with Anita Baker, bringing a fresh sound to hip hop. His mother was a local jazz singer in the early days, performed at the historical place in Buffalo, New York, called Little Harlem, and his brother was also a singer of a well known gospel group, the Northington Singers. World Famous has currently written and is working on a documentary of his journey through local hip hop and how the legendary group Upstate was really formed in depth. World Famous has played a vital role under the hip hop scene in the earlier years and is currently still putting in work. So remember, please like and share this video. And also you can subscribe to my YouTube channel, The Controversial Counselor. So with further ado, me and World Famous, we're gonna start this interview. What's going on, brother? How you feeling?
Man, I'm chilling, man. How you doing, brother?
All right, man. Glad we connected this time. I know we had some difficulties last time, but you know that's the world of technology and all that, and we just have to roll with it. But we still blessed to be here to have be able to pull this off.
Absolutely.
We got a couple people in the chat. Hey, Anetta. Hey, Frederick. Thanks for joining us tonight in the on this broadcast. So, man, world famous. That
Yes, sir.
name right there, man. That's saying a lot, man. Like, that's like hot dog, world famous.
Yeah,
So,
you know what, man? I came up with that name actually uh years ago, man. And it just out of the blue. I had my little corny names back in the day, Cool Money C, all some 80s stuff, you know what I'm saying? And that's what everybody used to call me. Cool Money C, the Witch Doctor, just trash name. Then
mhm.
one day I was like, man, I'm gonna be world famous one day. And that and I just stopped and the light bulb clicked in my head and I said, yo, I'm gonna keep that. You know what I'm saying? And I got a lot of props on that name, you know what I'm saying? Even from AZ, the rapper with Nas, you know what I'm
Okay.
saying? Yeah, he said he liked that name. So I stuck with it, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's sort of like with me. When I first came out as an author, and my brother Carlos was thinking, he was like, you should write a book. And then I was like, I can't write no book under David Glover. Who the hell is David Glover? Fake relative of
Danny
Danny
Glover.
Glover. So I said, I need to be, and, I'm a counselor by trade. I was like, I need to be the
Right,
controversial counselor. And it
right.
stuck, whatever. So, people call me that way. They shorten it to C2 or whatever the case is. So that's where I'm at. But I could appreciate that name and taking it and riding with it and living it.
Yeah, absolutely. It's true, man. Your name make a statement, bro. You know what I'm saying?
So, tell us. I mean, I know I read the bio, but you
Mhm.
could give us a little feedback and add to that right now, and then I got some questions to ask as well.
Well, I've been into hip hop, I say since the first time I heard it, man, I'm telling my age, man. Like, like,
Can't be father time. Got to tell you, it comes out.
you know what I'm saying? Like, since 80, like 1980. But I was a kid. I was like, 6 or 7 years old or something like that. And I remember being in my living room, and they had a component stereo set with the flashing lights and all this crazy stuff, you know what I'm saying? And I remember I heard what's that joint? The hip hop, hibbity the hibbity, Rapper's Delight.
Yeah.
I said, what is that? Because my mother and them was listening to disco music, Donna Summers and all that stuff like that. And I'm saying, what is this? You know what I'm saying? And I'm just like, I love this song. And I used to wait to hear this song again on the radio. And it seemed like it was like random. And I said, man, I love this music. So then going along, maybe a year later, it was this group called Kraftwerk. They were some kids from Germany, you know what I'm saying? It was before Planet Rock. And they made this song called Numbers. You know what I'm saying? And I said, a friend of mine had it. He lived across the street from it. You know what I'm saying? And he was like, yo, Chris, check this out. I got this song and it's called Numbers. And he played it to me. And I'm saying, what is this, man? This is the greatest thing ever. So as a kid, you know, you tend to do stuff repetitiously. Play it again, play it again, play it again, play it again. And I said, man, this is so wonderful.
I don't want to butcher that. Was that Numbers? Was that thing like it was?
Yeah,
it was like
yeah, the sheet. Yeah, the sheet. Yeah. So I said, yo, this is crazy. So, you know, as time goes on, I'm just going about my business. And mind you, like I said, we're young. I'm young. You know what I'm saying? And I used to ride around with the older guys. My brother was a little bit older than me, a lot older than me. He used to take me around and put me on the handlebars. They used to have block parties, was real popular back then. You know, I was used to just look at the DJ. They wasn't scratching yet, not yet, like they doing now. But I should just always be fascinated by this music, you know, and I just didn't know what it was. So as time goes on, did a talent show at I went to Catholic school for a couple of years, and I heard this song Planet Rock.
Planet Rock, yeah.
So in the talent show, it was these kids that waving, which they called it the electric boogie back then. This was before the wave is called electric boogie. You know what I'm saying? And I'm looking at these kids on stage doing this dance to this music, you know, and I'm saying, yo, this is the greatest thing ever, you know. Sorry about that. Hold on.
Stay with us, folks. All right, so if you're joining late, he froze right now, but this is World Famous, and we're just talking about his evolution of how he got into hip hop, into music. So,
okay, here we go. I'm back on.
Yeah, we can hear you. Yeah.
Okay, hold on. Somebody keep calling me. Hold on. This is horrible. Hold on 1 second, man. I'm trying to find the screen.
So that's where we're at right now. We're just trying to chop it up and see where did this passion for this hip hop came from, man. And you know, like when you're passionate about something, whether you're a kid, an adult, you live, sleep, dream, you dream it. All right, he dropped off. So hopefully he'll pop back on. So that's where we're at. So we're talking about that. And man, I can tell you that once you find your niche in something and you're passionate about it, the work that you put in, the time that you put in, is crazy. And And, and a lot of people don't understand, and they say, well, if you put all that work into this or put all that work into that, imagine what you could be. But when you find your niche to something, uh, it's just different. And like even for me, like I mean, I'll write a few things, and I know mechanically that I always said that to people. I like, I ain't no writer like that, but I still, I still got a vision, and I think that's the big thing.
Oh, there we
It's
go.
gonna, all right, back.
So everybody calling me at this time, and I'm like, what?
I know how it goes.
Yeah. So, back to what I was saying, man. I'm sorry about that, y'all. The Planet Rock thing. So I'm like, yo, what is this music? It's the greatest thing I ever heard, man. So it just kept going, man. Then to the Run DMCs, to the Fat Boys, and so
Yeah, so and that was some good times, man. When all of that was out, I remember I wasn't. I mean, I enjoyed that, but I never got into that scene of breakdancing, doing the electric boogie and all that stuff. But I enjoyed those times because creativity was at its best, and it wasn't about violence. It was about battling and rapping, battling and breakdancing.
right,
And you had to go to the lab and build up your craft. If this person could windmill and do a supreme flare and all of this stuff, you had to figure out, okay, I got to come better. Or in the rapping, like some rappers, they would just have that. They could just go on and on and on and just throw out spit stuff, and you had to find a way to do something better than the next person. That
right.
competitiveness was great back in those days.
Absolutely, man. I still have that competitiveness. I mean, still to this day, man. It never, because hip hop is definitely a competitive sport off the
Mhm.
rip. You know what I'm saying? Is competitive. From the giddy up.
So let me just ask you this. So you kind of touched on this, and I want to know, like, what drove you to this entertainment field. I know you heard the music that your mother played, but you
Mhm.
know a lot of people have heard that music, but what made it stick, that you said to yourself, you know what, I'm not giving up on this? Because most boys, black young men, they say, oh, I want to be in the NFL, I want to be an NBA player. And some of them, I just had a conversation with this boy the other day. He was like, "Oh, I'm going to make. I want to be in the NBA, NFL. Have you ever played for a team? No." I wanted to
Right.
say, "Get your ass on my office," but so what made you say, "Man, I want to ride this out, man. I want to seek this further."
Um, I just love music, man. Like, I just, when I say love it, love it. And I think like some kids, like you talk about the NFL, some kids love football. I seen guys that know every player and stat and all this, all that stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? That's just not my thing. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? But what made me stick to music is just me and my friends around the way growing up, man. Learning how to work the beat machine and the mixing and scratching and um, learning the fundamental of music, because with music you never stop learning. It never stops, because music always evolves
Hmm.
constantly. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta constantly be up to date. Constantly be up to date, and it's not just a one standstill type of thing. But once I heard Run DMC, it was over. It was done.
Yeah, they were serious, definitely. And I'm gonna move on to the next question. So, what is your creative process like? What drives you to think or come up with something? And I could just say, like, for me, it's just, it could be any little thought or reoccurring conversation. Then I say, oh, let me make a scenario out of this, and then I'll just write something down, or I'll hone in on that point. And people might be think I'm beating a dead horse, but
Right.
it's something that resonated in my head, that stuck, and I just keep driving it in. So what was your thing as far as your creative process as far as music?
Oh, okay. Creative process is, well, with entertainment, with any type of entertainment, you want to stick out.
Hmm.
You understand what I'm saying? You got 1,000 replicas following the person that originated whatever you doing. You know what I'm saying? Like for like talk shows with the shock jock, you had Howard Stern. You understand what I'm saying? And
Hmm.
then everybody started doing that type of, going down that lane. So I think you want to set a presence and set yourself aside from everybody. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got your show, maybe something about your show that nobody did, that you just, okay, I'm gonna stay in this lane. This is what I do, and you get known for that.
Hmm.
Same thing with music. Why I did my beat instrumentals the way I did them. The Son of Rick James, Beats with Anita Baker. That's some stuff you really don't hear.
No, not at all.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So now, and I did the Throne too, just because I love the Kanye West and Jay-Z album, The Throne. So I was like, man, when is it gonna come out with another album? I said, you know what? I'm gonna do a beat instrumental album for myself, The
Uh-huh.
Throne too, and it just took off, man. And then now doing the Son of Rick James and the Anita Baker, the beat, especially with the Beats with Anita Baker, the women love it. You know what I'm saying? And I did that, and it just started taking me to a whole different lane and separating me from other producers.
And that Anita Baker thing, Anita was always on point back in the days. And we know, unfortunately, like women, sometimes they're the biggest supporters. They're the
Absolutely.
ones gonna purchase. Guys, they say all this or that, but
And
they don't stay the course. They don't
no, they
stay the
don't.
course with it.
Absolutely, man. I think, from what I've seen, women definitely, they definitely support. You know what I'm saying? Like you just said, dudes do a lot of talking and, you know, ego boosting and all that stuff like that.
All right, so we gonna move on to the next one. So, how much have you grown in this industry? Like you look at yourself now from the beginning, and you say, man, like, and then look at yourself now. How much have you grown? Like to say, like, man, I can remember this day, and now I'm
Oh,
here. So I know the
oh,
confidence level and all that stuff has risen.
man, bro, I think I've grown like 1,000%. And I say this because, a lot of stuff I thought about that I thought I knew about the industry, I was totally wrong. Totally 100% wrong. And a lot of people is wrong also. So it's like they walking with two left feet in this big circle and keep getting the same result over and over and over and over and over and over, because it's more to the story. You know what I'm saying? It's more.
So, so are these people? Sorry to interrupt you. So are these people the people that's in your ear, trying to tell you something, but they're wrong, and you find out
Yeah,
they're wrong?
oh yeah, I had that basically growing up. We a lot of us, and I think a lot of us, the cats that I grew with, could say, yo, we didn't, it wasn't on internet. We was going off of Fresh Magazine and stuff like that, just reading
Hmm.
articles and stuff. But the more I get into it, the more I can understand why people is not in the position that they're in. You know what I'm saying? It's because you're getting the wrong information. First of all, you listen to the people that's not even in the industry.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? So you
Mhm.
got the blind leading the blind.
And I think that's the thing. A lot of people always have something to say, and then once you sit back and reflect on it, you're like, wait a minute, why not listen to this person?
Yeah,
And they have done nothing in this field or
nothing,
anything, and
nothing.
then you have to go back and say, oh, I can't pay this person a mind. But those are the people that's always talking. They're like hecklers in the
Right,
background.
absolutely. So, anything I learn, I try to tell, you know, any of my friends, like, if they not actively doing stuff in music and they decide to get into it, I'm like, yo, the times have changed. It's like this. I'm gonna help you. You know what I'm saying? Much as I can. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm still on this journey. With little connections that I'm starting to get now. And I'm willing to help anybody, man, as much as I can. You know what I mean? But you just gotta put in the work. The thing is, consistency and your stuff gotta be good. It has to be good, man. Not your friends telling you that it's good. See, here's the difference.
Mm-hmm.
Your friends always gonna tell you, "Oh, your stuff sound great." Put it out to the world, and that's gonna be the test. You know what I'm saying?
And I like that word consistency, and that's with everything. All great champions, all great leaders, they were consistent in something that they did. That they whether they ate the same food every day or wore certain colors on certain day, they were consistent and they stuck with it. And stuff happened for them based on that consistency.
Based on consistency, you know what I'm saying? You got people that you know bounce all over the place. This is what I call it. The jack of all trades, the master of nothing.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying? You bouncing all over the place. If you bouncing all over the place, something is going to lack. I don't care who you with, what you doing. You know what I'm saying? You doing this, you doing that, you doing this. Something is going to lack. So you got to pick something and just stick with it. And then once you master that, go to the next thing. That's just my philosophy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I think the great Russell Simmons said, I forgot the phrase. He said it was a book he wrote, and it was like, I guess the theme was kind of like master, master one thing before you move on to the next. I
Absolutely.
forgot what the book was called, but that was essentially what he was saying. Like, don't stop jumping all over the place and master one thing, then move on to the next.
Move
And you're
on to the next.
and you're correct. A lot
Absolutely.
of people don't never master the one
Nope.
thing. They get bored or they're like, this ain't working. Then they move on to the next and they're never known for anything. So you got to sometimes master one particular thing.
Absolutely. Yeah, you have to, man. And the more you master it, the better you get at your craft. You know what I'm saying? You keep doing something over and over and over and over. You start getting better and better and better and more creative. And but that's what I tell people, man, to stick to it. Cause I know people that bounce all over the place. And I'm like, 1 minute you're doing this. The next minute you're doing this. I'm like, what are you? I don't know what you are. You know what I'm saying?
So when did you realize that music is the way forward to you? And this is another question I had. Like what I and I'm gonna combine both of these. Like what are you doing other than music? Like as far as that, like what are you day to day, what are you doing other than music?
Oh, just regular things, man. Working. I thought about going back to school. I already got my associates already. I went to Niagara and just got a couple of more credits to get this bachelor's, man. I just got these credits floating around and it's driving me crazy. I was like, you know what? Let me just get this out the way and I'm, done in that. But besides that, day to day, man, honestly, just trying to dodge this number 19, as I'll call it. You know what I'm saying? We all know what we talking about. You know what I mean? Because a lot of people is getting up out of here, man. You know what I'm saying? It's real,
Yes, unfortunately.
real scary, man. So your thought process on that changes also, and it makes you think about your own mortality. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying? If that makes sense.
it makes sense, and it's definitely scary. So, do you think because of what was going on, you know, did you and I know you creative, like creative genius. So you thinking like so during this time, did it make you? Did it motivate you? Because I even
Yes,
know for me to have this platform, before I would always be under someone else's platform and was paying them. But then was sitting here thinking, and I'm in my lab thinking to myself, like, man, I need to come up with my own thing and just step out there and put myself out there more. And that's what I did. So did that heighten your thing? Like, okay, it's a lot going on, but I ain't about to let that happen to me. I'm about to step my game up.
Right. I think the lockdown, you know, for a lot of people I've seen on Facebook, you know, especially in 2020 when it first, started. Everybody was kind of like, it was a time to reflect on yourself. I see a lot of people was doing hobbies they never done because they had all this time on their hands. You know what I'm saying? With me, I was just saying to myself, okay, man, you know what? It's now or nothing. You know what I'm saying? And what I started doing was focusing on learning the business. Music, I got down pat. What's up with this business? You know what I'm saying? Where do I need to start? And I just started making connections here, connections there, and just start building and building. And it was actually fast because I really started making beats again maybe a year and a half ago. I started years ago, and I started making beats right before the corona started. And it just started taking off, man. You start aligning yourself with different individuals. It goes back to what I'm saying earlier before. You had the blind leading the blind. You know what I'm saying? So once I got connected with certain people, they was like, nah, Chris, it's not like that. This is how it is. And they show them, in real time.
And I think that's the thing, connecting yourself with the right individuals who understand the craft. Sometimes, I mean, we all have like a lot of pride, like especially us black men, we have a lot of pride and don't want to reach out to someone and say, listen, I need your help. I know that you could do that, but we can't be afraid to do that, and that's the problem. And a lot of my concepts come from sports. So when I think about NBA players, some of the players, they wasn't afraid to when he was living. Man, Kobe, I just hate to even think about that. He's not alive, but people was going to him, the Kyries and all that stuff, and he was schooling them. And just like the big man were going to the Dream, Akeem Olajuwon, about the footwork and all that stuff. So you got to look at that in everyday life, whether you want to be an engineer or something. If you know somebody that's an engineer and they doing well, you got to be able to humble yourself and say, teach me this craft. Could you show me this craft?
And that's the one thing I had to do, man. I had to become a student. You understand what I'm saying? I had to stop talking, sit down, and listen. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people don't want to do that. You know what I'm saying? They don't want to. Everybody want to talk. Talk. You can't talk and listen at the same time.
No, that don't work.
It don't work. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes some people, you can have the information. Some people just don't want the information from you.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
It's just, I want the information, but I don't want it from you. I want it from somebody else. And somebody else telling them the same thing that you already told them.
Yeah, that's true. And that happens a lot. And that's even...
Oh, it's crazy.
That's even with parenting, whatever. Your mother or father could tell you the same thing, but then someone else, a coach or somebody else, could say that, and your parents say like, I've been said that to you, but
right.
I guess at a certain point you tune out certain people's messages, and then I don't know, maybe that other person had a different twist to it, and then you like, oh, the light bulb goes off, and you follow that lead. So it's just crazy. Another question I had for you, like, so how has music impacted your life overall?
Man, I say music saved my life, bro. I say this because, growing up, running around in the streets and all that other stuff, I always found the way, like, spending time in the studio. You know what I'm saying? You got your little friends, you running around and doing what y'all doing. But I used to always kind of drift off to the studio. You know what I'm saying? Like, spend most of my time there, write my little raps and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? To keep me busy, you know. And if it wasn't for that, man, I don't know how I would have ended up, bro, on some real stuff. You know what I mean? So that's why I would look at music in the studio. Like I think it kind of saved my life, man. Kept me out of jail. You know what I mean?
I understand that. It kept you safe, whatever. It kept you, idle mind that could get you in
Yeah, Devil's
trouble.
Playground.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So with music, you could always fall back and like, okay, like some of your other people might have been out here doing that, and you would just like, okay, I'm about to slide back into the studio, and
Right.
it will save you. So
Yeah,
that's
absolutely.
understandable.
Yep.
Man, so who are some of your like right now, like the music industry has changed so much. We got a lot of these young cats doing a thing, and I mean, I'm getting old. I'm getting older. We all getting older, and I'm like, I just can't even understand what is happening. So, like back in the days, who was one of your most influential people, and then even with the younger generation, who do you like now out of these people that's
Young cats.
performing? Yeah.
Back in the day was of course Run DMC, Big Daddy Kane, you know what I'm saying? EPMD, Public Enemy, KRS One. I could go either further. I could say Black Moon, Wu Tang Clan. You know, big hip hop fan, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, nowadays, I like Lil Baby. It's two babies. It's the baby and the little baby dude. You
So
know what I'm
many
saying?
babies. Yeah.
I like I like Lil Baby. I like him. I like Lil Durk. I like of course Drake. I like Drake. You know what I mean? Um, who else? Uh, Pooh Shiesty. All these names, man. These little kids, man. These names, Pooh Shiesty. I like him, man. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, them are the new kids that I listen to now. You know
So
that.
so so what's up with the boys? They making a lot of noise, like in an introduction. West Side Guns, Griselda, Benny the Butcher, and all of them. Like what's going on? Are you connected? You're connected with them?
No, not at all. Not at all, man.
Mm-mm.
I'm proud of them young men, man. I'm proud of them because they took hip hop where we as upstate at the time in the 90s, we couldn't take it. We didn't have this internet stuff. We didn't have
Yeah.
none of it. It was just raw dog, word of mouth, hardcore, just hardcore promotion. But now, man, I'm glad they put Buffalo on the map. Beautiful thing, man. I seen Benny rhyming for years and years and years. So he definitely put his grind in, far as the rap scene, and he getting his just due. He getting his just due, man. I'm proud of him.
Okay. So when you also in your bio thing, you said about the upstate, like New York rappers. So what do you stand far as with that? Like you still connected with them, or
Well, I'm connected with some of the guys. That story. It was like 25 years ago. You know what I'm saying? Some guys, you stay connected to. Some guys you don't. I see mostly everybody on Facebook. You know, be a comment here and there, but we're not close like we was as kids. You know what I'm saying? Our early 20s and stuff like that. But seems like everybody doing well.
okay, well, that's all. That's the most important thing that they do. They're doing
Well,
well, and they're still living.
yep, yep.
So, and and the same kid I said I was talking to the other day said that he was gonna he was interested in the NBA, NFL. So if people listen or they click on this and they tune in, what would your message would be if someone was starting off in the music industry? What advice would you give them? Because he also mentioned, he wanted to be a rapper. And I'm like,
Oh,
you naming stuff that like you probably need to focus on. I wasn't trying to kill his dream, but
yeah,
I don't think he ever wrote a rap down or anything. He was just throwing stuff out there. And I got to
yeah,
be real with you as a counselor. I can't sit up there and just listen. You ain't gonna spoon feed me anything. So,
right.
what would
I
you
would
say to
say
someone?
him. I would say study the business. Study the business. You can have all the raps you want. Study the business, man. Off the rip. I mean, do your little songs here and there, but the main thing is, what do you want to do? Do you want to get a record deal? Do you want to be an independent artist? Because being an independent artist is very expensive.
Mm-hmm.
This is a very expensive hobby. You understand what I'm saying? Very, very expensive. So, you got people saying, I don't want no record deal and this and that and the third. But most of the time, you ain't gonna really break nowhere
Yeah.
because you don't have the financial backing. You don't have the machine behind. You know what I'm saying? You can build a smaller cult following. You know what I'm saying? If by the stroke of luck, it's like the roll of the dice because it's oversaturated. You know what I mean? And a lot of this time, a lot of these dudes be having um, money behind them for the marketing and promotion and to get on certain blogs. That stuff costs money.
Yeah. Guess that's the name of the game. When you got
That's the name of
money,
the game.
you can
People think that they own the cover of this magazine. Yeah, they paid for that.
yeah, and everybody's realize that, and they're charging. So it's so many people soliciting, trying to get money and put you out there because they know people. I don't know, people in this generation, these young people, they're so intelligent, and they've been exposed to so much because of the internet that other people say, hey, let's put stuff out there. Let's solicit them for that to see if they can come up and get money because they know that people not into these 9 to 5s like they used to be, like this
They're not.
college thing and all of that. People realizing I can get rich or do something without having to go to college and have to worry about loans and all that stuff. So that's what this younger generation, they're going after. Then you have
Yeah,
people
they're
that's
going
trying to
after it.
solicit it.
They're trying to solicit it, and what they're doing is they doing the most craziest, ignorant stuff to get noticed on the internet to go viral. Cause
Mm-hmm.
that's they move now. That's why you seen all this weird stuff, and they just doing outlandish stuff just to go viral, and try to get that money, get that 15 minutes of fame, and bleed it out.
Yeah, because it's a lot. They're paying money. Of course, like YouTube and all that stuff. You reach a certain status, you start getting paid. Uh, Facebook with the reels and all
Yep,
that stuff.
absolutely. Just start doing the reels.
They
Yep.
cutting checks. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
So you got to be creative. But the one thing also, you got to be consistent. You got to be putting content out there on a
Con-
regular basis.
Constantly, man. I'll be like, sometimes I'll be thinking like, dang, am I doing too much? I don't want to see like I'm spamming. You know what I'm saying? That's the only part with me that I got a problem with is like, I don't want to seem like, I'm putting out too many reels that I'm spamming,
Yeah, I
my
think
page.
you just got to go for it. And the people that say they're getting tired of it, they'll fall off. But then other people may stay with it.
That's how it goes. Yeah.
That's how it goes. And I guess you got to kind of block that out and can't be worried about that. See what
Yeah.
other questions. So also, in what ways do you aim to make a difference in what you're doing? Because you're creative, you got a craft, but essentially, there's probably nothing greater than making a difference with your people and others that they recognize, man, world famous. I learned this from world famous. He made a difference doing this. So how does, what ways do you aim to make a difference?
Man, just do what you love, man. You know what I'm saying? That's all, man. Just stay humble. Do what you love, man. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't want to get to the point where you're too old to go forward and too old to go backwards. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to get to a certain age and be like, I could have did this or I should have did this. You know what I'm saying? Just do it. And if it's meant for you and the stars is aligned right, it'll happen.
All right. So you've been in the game for a while. So like, are you so what are you like? Have you performed? Have you had any, produced stuff for other people that's performing, and like, how is that whole thing working for you?
This is how this goes. So when being a producer, you got different lanes. Like most people keep thinking music producer, rapper, singer, got that,
Yeah.
things together. No, you got to think about it. Producers do commercials. Producers think of Kenny G, the saxophone player.
Yeah.
Instrumentals.
Uh-huh.
Think of elevator music. Instrumentals.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? Stuff that's in attorneys' offices. Instrumentals. You know what I'm saying? So that's a whole different ball game. And then you could do scores for music. I mean, scores for movies. I'm sorry. Score for movies.
Okay.
So it's so many different lanes of being a producer than just rapping and singing. Okay. You can make a lot of money out there. A lot. Because movies is made constantly. That ain't gonna never stop.
No.
Commercials gonna be made constantly. That's not gonna never stop.
So when I say world famous, man, I'm sitting here studying all these other people's YouTube channels. I don't have no music. I'm playing as I don't know what. Man, I need a beat, man, or something, whatever. That when they log in on here, they hear that beat and they say, "Oh, that's that controversial counselor beat coming through."
Right.
You can set that up. We can work that out.
Absolutely. Easy.
Okay.
Absolutely.
All right.
You know what I'm saying? Absolutely. No problem, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, hey, man, everybody help each other, man. That's the main name of the game. Everybody help one another, bro. You know what I'm saying? I'm not the type of cat that got this super big ego and, man, forget all that, man. You know what I'm saying? Just make good music. Do what you do.
All right, so we're gonna talk about that. Absolutely. Another question: besides music, what are some of your other interests? Because we all have we have different passions, but sometimes we have stuff that's parallel, that's connected. What are your other interests?
Anything that I'm an artsy person, so it's like anything that has anything to do with the arts. I do like oil painting. You know what I'm saying? My son, he's into theater. He actually got a show coming up at Shades. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, wow.
So
it's great.
Yeah. So he's into theater. Anything with me with the arts, I'm with it. I'm straight with it, man. That's pretty much it. I'm not really into sports like that. That wasn't never my thing. Because I was horrible at basketball, man. I was terrible. I was terrible, man. So once I couldn't do basketball, I was done with it, man. And I just stuck to music.
Yeah, you found your niche, whatever.
Yep.
So moving forward, where do you plan? What's your plans? Where do you plan to take this? You got any other projects going on that you're working on?
I
Like,
I'm gonna say this. This may sound a little weird. I think I almost accomplished what I wanted to accomplish in music already. I said like 60% of it. You know what I'm saying? For my personal self. I put out albums. That's what I wanted to do. I did it. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to get on some blog posts. I'm on it right now. You understand what I'm saying? So these are the um, things that I look at, my accomplishments. Maybe small to somebody else, but big to me. And that's all that matters.
yeah.
You know what I mean? So another project. I usually put beat projects out every 6 months. So I don't know what I did. Anita Baker already. I did Rick James already. I'm not sure who I'm gonna do.
And we all evolve in this, and even with me, once I enhance my skills, I wish I was able to. And I don't like to play around with this stuff because I'm not too familiar with it. But it is capabilities that I could download. This, your beats and stuff like that. And I know when I was when I interviewed Dave Slick, he had I guess he just had it in the background. He was playing some of his stuff, so I don't even know if you got it set up that you could play one of them your beats
No,
right
I
now.
ain't got no, I don't even have it set up, man. I wish I would have known. I would have had it set up for you. But anybody want on here looking, I can't see who's in the room. Um, Anybody that's watching it or will watch this, go to YouTube, type in beats with Anita Baker. Same thing, YouTube, Son of Rick James, or if you got Apple Music or Spotify, whatever, and check it out. You're gonna enjoy it.
Yeah, and that's my bad. I probably should have said to set it up like that. But
Yeah.
we live and learn, and obviously that, like you said, they can go to the YouTube and put in those things, and I'll drop I'll add something to that. So once this is over, that we they can also go on and check out some of your work.
Mhm.
So man, it's look, we talked about a lot, covered a lot. We still have time. Anything else that's resonating in your head that you want to get out to the audience?
Stay true to yourself, man. That's the number one thing. Stay true to yourself. That's the best character that you could play. Is being you.
Yeah, and I think with that, a lot of people don't know how to be themselves. They're busy trying to be like a shell of someone else. So
Right.
they live life trying to be a shell of different people, and they never feel whole. And like, yo, this is where I'm at, my comfort zone. This is who I am. And I've read books over the years, like Tony Dungy, coach or the Colts, used to coach the Buccaneers, and he's like a sports commentator now. He always talk about being
Right.
uncommon, being that you stand out, that people like,
Yup.
this person is known for that, or he's known to do that, and that's where it's at. Trying to be uncommon instead of
Yeah.
being so much like other people.
You're not gonna stand out, man. You know what I'm saying? If you seen everybody wearing blue, you need to wear white.
Yeah, and they people don't get it. People don't get it.
They like, man, this clone. Yeah, you gotta be, but then that says a lot about someone's self-esteem also. And they don't understand. People can see right through that when you're trying to act like somebody else, man. I can see right through
Yeah, and I think we live in a culture of people with low self esteem, low
that.
drive,
Absolutely.
and just a bunch of clones running around, and it's just
Don't work.
Yeah, and I think that's where the aggravation lies in with a lot, because but you got a bunch of mini me's running around this world, and everybody looking alike, dressing alike, doing the same thing. Man. Whew, it's a lot going on. So
Yeah, it is, man. It is. But what can you do, man? It's the way of the world now, and I don't know, man. I don't think it would ever go back to the way it used to be.
no, those days is gone. So we just got to make the most of where we at
Yeah.
um, today and try to move forward. So, do you have any, like, if people want to follow you, where are you located? Like,
Oh yeah, you can
Facebook,
follow me on
Instagram.
follow me. Yeah, Instagram, world famous 716. You can follow me on
Put that in there. You said world famous.
716 on Instagram.
You connected to any other any other social media sites?
Yeah, well, Facebook, but that's pretty much it. Facebook and Instagram. My YouTube, I had to do some cease and desist recently again because they kept stealing my beats offline. You know what I'm saying? So I had to shut a lot of my beats, put it in private. You know how that goes.
Yeah.
And they kept stealing them, man. And it's just like, man.
Yeah, you just once you start doing something, you just never know. Like when I came up as the controversial counsel, I was dropping scenarios and all this stuff, and that was my thing. And some people recognize, oh, this the scenario guy. And then all
Right.
of a sudden, everybody's writing scenarios and all that stuff, and I'm like, oh, unreal. And that's just the way it is. So you just have to find another niche and try to do
Trying
things. So
to yeah, just like, I just took down all my unpublished beats. I'm just gonna start putting all my beats up that's published. You know what I'm saying? That's published and got the ISRC codes and all that stuff. So I'm good, good money. So it's registered and everything. So try to take it.
So any closing comments that you want to say? Any words of advice or anything that you want to let the audience know? Because this is going to be shared on my Facebook page. It's going to be on YouTube. I'll share it on LinkedIn. Anything that you want to
Last
leave
words,
with?
man. My last words is just plain and simple. Like I said before, man. Be true to yourself. That's it. That's all, man.
And then that's funny because that's one of the closing comments that on my broadcast that we always have a closing comment. And one of my old panel members, they used to always say, "Be true to yourself." And I think that's powerful because we're in a time that people are not true to themselves, and they're hurting inside because they're not being true to who they really want to be, or whatever the case is. So, man, it's been a pleasure, man. World famous, just chopping it up, talking to you. I hope you people go through, take what he said, follow him on IG. Listen to this again, share it, and we're all building, and we're all trying to come up and try to be this creative force. So we have to work together. It doesn't take much time to share or to
it don't cost nothing.
recognize other people's talents, and I think that's where we fall short at, and we have to stick together and work together. And once that start happening, you'll see change. But other than that, we're gonna continue to see in the chaos that we're living in, which is unfortunate. But man, it's been a pleasure talking to you. You motivated me throughout this time because
appreciate it, man.
It just shows that you're passionate about something. You took something, you ran with it because listening to your mother, playing their music and stuff, and you like, man, and it stuck with you. So
Yeah,
if something sticks with you, people, and it's a reoccurring thing, check into it. That might be
right.
your niche. Might be your
Yep,
niche.
absolutely. It's true.
So hopefully we could connect again. Hopefully
No doubt.
my brother Carlos could come in and y'all could chop it up about the
The
history of
hip
hip
hop.
hop or whatever.
Oh
And
man, I would love that. I would love that, man. I
and
love it.
we can make
Definitely.
it, we can make it happen. And it's a lot of things that people are interested in, and people going on YouTube and all this stuff doing other silly stuff. So in this hip hop, and the one thing I can always say about hip hop, and I learned from a older guy at this in service, and he was like, if you're an educator or someone in the field working with young people, if you don't understand hip hop, you're not gonna make it.
You're
And
not
it's
gonna
so
make
true.
it. No,
It's
it's the
so
truth.
true. Even as a counselor, if you don't
Yeah.
understand the lingo or the slang and they're talking,
They're
you're
not.
gonna
They're
be
not.
lost.
Yep.
You're not gonna connect with them. But if they sense that you know a little something or you can speak their language, you good.
Yep. You good.
You're gonna be good. You're gonna be
They're
good.
not gonna be able. They're not gonna be able to connect with you, man. Not at
And
all.
and that's the big thing. Connection and relationship building. There's probably nothing greater than that. People want to sleep on that, but there's nothing greater than relationship building in whatever capacity that you want to do. So always think about building relationships
The
no matter what.
relationships, man, is and this thing is a give and take thing. It's not no give me, and all this self entitlement that people try to go by. It don't go that way.
So yeah, it's like I said, it's been a pleasure. Me and you connecting. I was connected to Dave Slick. We worked together,
Okay,
and it's always nice to connect with other people throughout your travels because we're all still chasing dreams, man, and still trying to make it happen. When you stop
I'm trying to
chasing
make it happen.
dreams, you pretty much conceding with life,
Yeah,
saying it's
yeah.
over with. But if you still, no matter how old you're, 50, 60,
It
it's
don't
never
matter.
over. As long as you breathe in, you can still chase a dream, man.
That's right.
Make it happen
It's,
for
it,
yourself.
it's true. Yep.
So, with that said, we're gonna be out of here. Again, I appreciate you, World Famous, coming to my platform.
Appreciate it, man.
Hopefully you'll come back on, and I'll bring you and
Yep.
Carlos, and y'all chop it up about hip hop, and we promote
Oh,
it
yeah.
right, and we just keep pushing forward, man. I wish you the best.
You too,
Stay
bro.
stay safe, man, and just
Gotcha.
continue being great.
Yep. All right,
All
buddy.
right. Take care,
Peace.
man. All
You
right.
too.
Peace.